Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to one of the most must-see channels on YouTube, talking about wrestling. This episode, well, it's not being sponsored, but I'm just giving an advertisement. I'm not getting paid. It's just something I bought today that I think is pretty cool. Roo Cups. Go to your local Kangaroo and get one. Might be a little expensive, $7, but it happens all summer long. You can go to your local Kangaroo and get refills for 25 cents all summer long. All you need is one of these. You can get either a slushie or a soft drink of your choice in there for 25-cent refills. For the cup is $7. Before we get on with the Smackdown rebound, one thing. John Cena. John Cena's injury is now out. What is up with his ankle? It's not an Achilles tendon tear, so he's not going to be out for a long time like Edge. He is still going to wrestle with this injury because it's not that big of a deal. He bruised his Achilles tendon. He didn't tear it like Edge did, like I told you guys that Edge did. He bruised it, and that's it. So, and they're playing it off okay right now. They didn't really do much with him on Raw with it, but they're playing it off pretty good. Let's get on with tonight's show. Tonight's show was Smackdown. And Smackdown started out with Feed Me. I love that. That's one part of Ryback's song I love. I love the beginning of it with the whole Feed Me part. And Ryback comes out and cuts a promo about his match against John Cena for the WWE Championship at Extreme Rules. And then Daniel Bryan comes out because he's got a match with Ryback. This was a pretty good match to me. But Ryback won this it was a pretty long match too. It was a nice, lengthy, back and forth match. Ryback won this against Daniel Bryan with a shell shock. Then you have Renee Young interview Del Rio and Ricardo before their match later tonight. And that was it. They just talked about their win on Raw and then their match later on tonight. Like they always do during interviews. Then you had a squash match, which was Zack Ryder versus Fandango. You can guess, Fandango won. Which WWE is going to start trying to do a new gimmick for Zack Ryder, which I could really care less. I'm sure you guys could care less too. They had Caitlyn comes walking down the hall with these flowers. They were from her secret admirer, which I think I know who it might be. I'm thinking it's Cody Rhodes, because if you remember several months ago, Cody Rhodes had a crush on Caitlyn before the Bella Twins became involved. It was actually back when they had Raw Goes Old School, if you remember that. She's walking down the hallway. She runs into Caitlyn and Khali, Natalya and Khali, and Natalya says, if you want any romance advice, ask Khali, and it was just a useless segment. You could have done something with AJ again, but you didn't. You need to do something with AJ to build up to Payback, because I know you're not going to do this Divas match at Extreme Rules, because it's not even going to be an Extreme match. If it is, it'd be a stupid Extreme match. They had a video package of the Worldwide Wish Day that they showed on Raw with John Cena and the three little Make-A-Wish kids. It's PG, so you gotta bring that in somewhere, I guess. Then you had Swagger and Zeb Coulter being interviewed, and Zeb Coulter talks about his match on Raw, and he gives all these excuses. He's like, I was running 102 temperature, so I was running a fever, and says that the only reason he didn't win is because not everyone in that match was American. I am liking this Zeb Coulter and Jack Swagger. This is good. Zeb Coulter is getting involved with some of these matches, and I'm just liking where this whole Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter is going. It's getting very good, actually. This world title, I don't know. But I am really liking Swagger and Coulter. That leads up to a match with Ricardo versus Zeb Coulter. this goes to a no contest because Jack Swagger runs in the ring and does a big boot to Ricardo Rodriguez, which has Alberto Del Rio come in the ring and clothesline Jack Swagger out. So then Teddy Long comes out and makes a tag team match, which is Del Rio and Ricardo Rodriguez versus Zeb Coulter and Jack Swagger. Well, that match happens, and they go back and forth. When Del Rio tries to put Swagger in the cross arm breaker, again, well, first of all, Dolph Ziggler was out at the announce table at the beginning of the match, at the beginning of the Ricardo Coulter match. He was out there at the commentary table, and he interferes with Biggie Langston when Del Rio, I couldn't think of the guy's name for some reason. When Del Rio puts Swagger in the cross arm breaker, Biggie Langston and Dolph Ziggler come out and they attack them because he didn't want him to get the win. So then Teddy Long comes back out and makes it a triple threat tag team match. Now, listen to me, 2K. This is for you. You need to bring this kind of match back. This was in a WWE game. This was in like Smackdown vs. Raw 2007, 2008, I think. One of those two. Maybe 2008 or 2009. But you could do like a triple threat hardcore tag team match. And it was pretty cool. Heck, you could even do a fatal 4-way triple threat tag team match. But here's what you should do. You should have it to where one member of each team is in the ring and they only can tag in their partner. That would be something interesting you should do, 2K. Because if you're going to run this on a new engine, then that's what you should do. Then, like I said, he made it into a triple threat tag team match. So, it's Team Del Rio versus Team Swagger versus Team Ziggler. I wrote it like that to save room on my paper, which I didn't really save that much room. If I would have written all of them out. Del Rio gets the win for his team. After all this chaos ensued, which seems like happens during every tag team match these days, Del Rio got the win for his team by putting Ziggler in the cross arm breaker, because Ziggler was the main man at the time. Then they cut to the Shield, and the Shield is in the back beating someone up. You don't see them at first. They're beating up someone, and we have no idea who it is. We do not know who they're beating up, because you just hear them like breathing heavy, and you can hear them like kind of slapping their thighs for the hits on someone. And then they come into the camera and they talk about the match with Kane later on tonight. How Ambrose is going to face Kane in the main event, and how they destroyed the Undertaker and Cena. And then as they walk off, you see Daniel Bryan laying on the ground, and it was Daniel Bryan, the guy who they were beating up. They go to Orton versus Damian Sandow. It was an okay match. It wasn't the best match. It was just okay. Orton won this by RKO. Big Show comes out after the match, and he says some pretty harsh words for Orton. He says, "You are a future Hall of Famer, but you're not a team player. If you would have tagged me in at WrestleMania, we would have beaten the Shield. But you didn't, because your ego got in the way." And as he's talking to Randy Orton, Sandow gets up and does the terminus to Randy Orton. And then, like, it sounds like Big Show challenges Randy Orton at Extreme Rules. Like I said would happen. Seems like stuff I'm saying would happen seems to be happening. We don't know what kind of match it's in, though. And you better hurry up, WWE, because your pay-per-view here is the 19th, and you've got, let's see here, 3 weeks left? 3 weeks. 3 Sundays, counting this Sunday. So you got this Sunday and then 2 more Sundays until until Extreme Rules. You better start making your extreme matches for all these ones that you're doing. And on the 18th, I will be doing a Extreme Rules prediction night. After this match, you see Kane. He is walking out of the trainer's room and tells Matt, and Matt Striker kind of stops and says, "What's the condition of Daniel Bryan?" And he tells Matt Striker, "The Shield will pay for Daniel Bryan and The Undertaker." And he says some other stuff, and then he walks off. After this, you have another. I don't know why they're doing this on the road to like Extreme Rules. You had a dance-off on Raw. You had a tug-of-war match on Raw. Tonight on Smackdown, you have an arm wrestling match with the world's strongest man. What more does the world's strongest man need to prove himself with? He beat Ryback in the weightlifting competition, which I said he would do. He beat Tensai and Brodus Clay in the tug-of-war, and, well, I can't really say he beat Sheamus, because Sheamus just dropped the rope and kicked him. And tonight, he beats Sheamus in an arm wrestling match. That's just like me, the 150-pound, 6-foot guy with no muscle, trying to go up against him. He's going to squash me. This is not necessary, WWE. Mark Henry has nothing to prove. But he beat Sheamus in an arm wrestling match using the right hands. And why I say the right hands? Because Sheamus grabs the mic at the end and says, "Okay, you beat me with your right hand. Now I want to see how much of a man you are and beat me with your left hand." So they play around a little bit, and as soon as they walk up, they start going, and Sheamus takes his right hand and hits Mark Henry. He knocks the table over, and then Bro kicks him. Leaves him laying. Then you go to a great main event. This was a great main event. First, you had the Shield come out. The fact that the Shield came out first was actually kind of interesting to me. But I can see where you're going with this. You had the Shield come out, and you had your usual. On the right side was Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. On your left side was Roman Reigns. Now, something interesting. Roman Reigns was carrying Daniel Bryan's World Tag Team title. Kane was carrying his own to the ring. And as Kane came out, they were mocking him. The Shield was. I am going to drop a spoiler right now for you in one of my predictions for Extreme Rules. I don't know who it is. I don't know what two it is. But you got your tag team titles going to be on the line at Extreme Rules against the Shield. I don't know which two members of the Shield, and the Shield win. So the tag team titles are switching hands at Extreme Rules. There will at least be one title. I am locking that in right now, and you guys get the first, I guess you could say, sneak peek of it. I don't know which two Shield members, but I'm thinking that one of them is at least going to be Seth Rollins. I'm not sure who the other one's going to be, but I'm thinking that one of them's going to be Seth Rollins. If it's Ambrose, good. If it's Reigns, good. The Shield is a great group. They are better than the Aces and Eights of TNA. You had Kane versus Dean Ambrose, like I said, and Reigns was carrying the World Tag Team titles, and as Kane gets in the ring, he basically just wipes the Shield out. He did a great job defending himself off against the Shield. He takes Roman Reigns and throws him right towards Michael Cole, because Michael Cole is sitting at the announce table between JBL and Josh Matthews, and he throws him right at Michael Cole. I've never seen that sorry son of a bitch run so fast. Michael Cole did not sit down the rest of the match, it seemed. And then you had Rollins, who got clotheslined over the barricade into the crowd. And so that's how he got Dean Ambrose by himself. Kane was dominating for a while until the app, because this went to a commercial. During the app, Dean Ambrose started working on his left leg, and Kane's like, "Oh, my left leg." But here's the thing. Kane did not sell oh, my left leg. He did not sell it. He did not sell it at all. Now, because he used it. He actually used the left leg during the match to do a big boot. But this was still a good match. At the end of the match, Kane did chokeslam Dean Ambrose, and then there was a distraction. And then Dean Ambrose does his little finisher. He didn't do his running knee, but he did this. It's like one of the signatures for Miz in WWE 13. It's not the DDT. It's not the one where the Miz kicks him in the knee and then DDTs him. It's the other one. If you play WWE 13, go do the Miz's signatures. It's not, like I said, it's not the one where he kicks him and DDTs him. It's the one where he like kind of gets him from and then sweeps his leg and brings him down. But that's how Dean Ambrose won. He got the 1-2-3. At the end of the match, they were going to do a triple powerbomb to Kane. Kane fought out of it. And then they beat up Kane some more, and then they triple powerbombed him. Ambrose got out of the ring, got both tag team titles, and the Shield held him up. One was given to Ambrose, one was given to Rollins. Not Rollins. One was given to Ambrose, one was given to Rollins, and Reigns was in the middle after the powerbomb, and they held up the tag team titles. Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of the Smackdown Rebound. Tune in Sunday for Vlog Weekly, and I am the true YouTube champion. And I gave you a spoiler and a lock-in tonight for Extreme Rules that the Tag Team Championships will go to the Shield at Extreme Rules. Thank you for watching, and like I said, I will see you for Vlog Weekly on Sunday.